Hello. How's it going? Looks like Emily's opponent is late, much like myself. No, I'm just kidding. The stream's actually on a 15-minute delay. Well, not the stream, but the video feed and the DGT board. So, but yeah, we're waiting for the opponent to arrive and for some chess. But welcome in, everyone. My name's Joe. I will be your host for today. And we're watching Emily Plays Chess. It's quite a lot. It is a classical game. Looks like 90 plus 10. She can see straight through her opponent. It's true. Opponent's clock is ticking. So we love the time advantage. We will take it. Yeah, Emily has the DGT board ready to go. Anyways, how's everyone doing? I think it might even be FIDE rated. Did anyone hear what the guy was saying at the start? I had a chance to listen to it twice. I still didn't listen. Anyways, Emily gets up. She's got to walk. She's probably got some nervous energy. This is round one of the Charlotte Fall Open 2025. She told you yesterday it is FIDE rated. Wow. So Emily got some FIDE points on the line here. Of course, if her opponent shows up, opponent might be too nervous. Anyways, does anyone see anyone in the background that they recognize? Anyone in the chat from Charlotte? Where is her opponent? That is the great mystery. Also, what's up, Speed Chess? What's up, Oak Chess? What's up, Lord Lombardi? Bevan Miranda. Is Dina playing, do you guys think? Is Bortnik playing? Is Danya playing? You notice Nicole. Is Nicole there? Hello, Pentecostal, Hades, Jordy Bunny. Did I miss anyone? Jim? J Theory? You don't think Dina's playing? I'm trying to fill the void with my rambling monologue. Usually I do that regardless of whether or not there's being chess played. Anyways, I see a familiar face, but I don't know if they know that I know. No, I know that they know that I know, but do I know if they know if no, what I'm really trying to say is that I recognize someone there and I'm a big fan of them. And that person is Emily, of course. Oh, yeah, Emily's giving us the look. She's like, I'm waiting. We could see on her clock quite clearly she's got a 5-minute advantage already and counting. Looks like there's some water bottles. I see some thinking on the board next to her. Some young players there. I think one of the water bottles has a checkered pattern on it, which is pretty cool. I love checkered pattern things. I actually have my phone case, and I think I think so does Dina and a lot of other streamers and content creators and just chess fans in general. I love going to tournaments in person. You can see all the different apparel choices. I know Oak Chess. What else is there to do? Is her opponent good? Her opponent isn't even there. Oh, we have an arbiter making sure the chessboard is level. You know, you got to make sure that the board's not tilted, because you know, if you're tilted, the board's tilted, like it just throws everything off. You need balance, not only in your life but in your chessboard. They should have brought a measure, a balance with a bubble. Who is that? The arbiter? I don't know. Does her opponent have a rating? Not that I know of. Opponent's name is Sean Finn. If you guys can see. Hi, Sean. Or Senpai, sorry. I said the player's name is Sean. Imagine if Sean was in the chat. Sean, if you're watching this, get over there. What are you doing? Sean was like, I'm going to watch the stream so I can stream snipe. But little did Sean know, the stream is on a 15-minute delay. You checked. Opponent is unrated. Okay. I also agree that he's scared. If the opponent doesn't show, I don't think she gets... Yeah, she gets a free point. It's a Swiss tournament. This tournament will last for a few days, I think, over the weekend. I think I shall be returning on Sunday. I think there's 2 rounds Saturday and 2 rounds Sunday. I could be mistaken, but that's my guess. So only after 45 minutes. Okay. It's a 3-day tournament. Yeah, Oak Chess seems to know a lot more. And I'm sure Emily has shared these details with me, but I have purposefully forgotten so that Oak Chess can share. Oh, we got a handshake. We have an opponent arriving at the board 8 minutes late. Emily giving us all a smile. Opponent making sure the clock is set, and here we go. Oh, he's hovering. He might adjust. He might say adjust or zoom. All right, and he has forgotten to hit his clock. Emily, she totally noticed. She saw that. I know she saw that. There she goes. She points, he hits the clock, and now we can see Emily's first move. All right, so we've got e4, and Emily follows up with a Caro Con, c6. He's going to play d4, taking the center here. And now Emily shall reply with d5. Oh, she gives him the second chance at the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, Tim Berger? Good to see you. Or perhaps I could say Timber. All right, so d5 from Emily. Now, here's what I'll say. I've heard many people debate this and share their opinions, and I think everyone has a different opinion. My opinion as to whether or not you help your opponent remember to hit the clock, I always help them the first time, but I don't tell them the second time. That's just typically what I do. But you tell me if you agree or not. Okay. We have knight to c3. And now Emily takes. It is their job. I think reminding the first time is a courtesy. I think it's something that nice that you could do. Chess Poems with the rate of 6. Hello and welcome to the Charlotte Open 2025. Charlotte Fall Open, I should say. What is Emily'sChess.com rating? That's a great question. Let's see if my stats command works. Alright, opponent recaptures with the knight. Okay. So Emily has a rating link in her chat. My command showing that her blitz is at 646. Okay, Emily goes knight to d7. It's kind of an interesting move. You beat Hannah Sace. That's awesome. Thank you, Swings. Okay, and the bishop comes out. I think Emily might play knight g to f6. Or knight d to f6. I don't know. She's doing the cow with the knight. Anyways, this is what happens when you play a caro and there's a pawn on c6, is your knight can't go to c6. So now it has to go somewhere like d7. Maybe we could play I am worst. Maybe. Yes, she goes knight g to f6. The computer was calling knight d to f6, interestingly. But I agree with this move in that we are trying to bring our pieces from the back rank into the center. Now, there's an interesting trap here, you guys. Queen to e2. And that's a very dangerous trap. Do you guys see it? Did the opponent do that? No. The opponent did not go for the trap. It wouldn't necessarily have been good, but the threat is knight to d6 smothered checkmate already there on move 6. It could have been threatened. But no, opponent played knight back to g3. Knight to b6. Yeah, that's definitely very logical. I think Emily also has the right to push one of these pawns, e or c pawns, to attack white's d pawn. Both pushes would be supported by the knight. Yeah, Oak Chess, I don't know. It's probably my fault. Let's see. Emily is on the clock. She does have an 8-minute advantage. Her opponent arrived about 9 minutes late, which isn't anything crazy, but it is still helpful. All right, and Emily makes her move. She does decide to play for e5. She's going in the center here. How much Chess.com staff paid? It's a great question. We're all paid the same amount because communism. Just kidding. Chess.com obviously is very capitalist. but I'm not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Emily playing chess. All right, so a quick capture and a quick recapture. Now, the computer does not like this last move for white. This is a great response by Emily. Her knight that was on d7, blocking in her own bishop, is now recapturing in the center. We're creating a threat to isolate one of white's pawns. We're threatening to trade our knight for a bishop, which also can be beneficial. And if the bishop moves, we're threatening to trade queens, and that's going to hinder white's development. So white, shows up a little late, maybe is a little rushed, maybe he's feeling a little bit of pressure, and maybe played that last move a little too quickly. And now we see here a little hesitation, but bringing the second bishop out to e3, and now Emily has an opportunity here. Actually, bishop to b4 check, a very annoying move. Let's see if Emily goes for it. The idea is that if there's a pawn block, we're going to take that bishop with check for free, causing all sorts of trouble. This is opponent's first ever rated game. Wow, lots of pressure. Opponent first ever rated game, showing up late on stream. Opponent is unrated. Emily's online rating varies. She mainly plays rapid. There's a command in Emily's chat for it. There it is. He's playing the tournament winner in round 1. All right, let's see. Emily, I like her pacing. She's taking her sweet time here. And you can see the gears are already spinning in her mind. Okay, bishop to d6 she plays. A bit passive. A bit more passive than we wanted. There was a lot of potential with bishop to b4 check because of the queen and knight converging on d3. I think leaving the d file open would have been helpful for her. So we should have looked a little bit more at this check. All right, opponent now playing a passive move, knight from the first rank to e2, knight 1 to e2. And the knight maybe could have gone to f3, trying to contest Emily's well-placed knight in the center. But instead goes to the second rank. Also, I have the audio from the venue live. Do you guys like hearing the venue audio? I mean, there's really not much to hear. There's just like a passive ambiance, I guess. But we did hear the tournament director give a speech before the game started. And maybe at the end, as a lot of the games wrap up, we could hear some more chatter. So it's like you're really there, you know? Try to give you guys the best experience. What did the arbiter say? Or the tournament director? I think they were just talking about the start of the round. Okay, Emily showing a little bit of hesitation here. She castles. A move that will make anyone proud. And white might follow suit. Yes, they do. If by chance the opponent wins, what would their rating go up to? So I think if you are playing your first ever tournament, you don't get an official rating until you've played a couple of games so far. Hey, Askia, good to see you. I feel like that was new for me to say. Why don't more people say that? Good to see you, Askia. Just rolls off the tongue. It just feels so good. Feels so right. Hello, Berto. I love you too. Just by your username. Uh, hello, welcome. Anyways, yeah, you need 25 rated games for USCF. I don't know what it is for FIDE, but I think you might also get like an unofficial rating. I'm not sure. The only one that you know. Surely you know of Danny Wrench. He's a pretty popular guy. Hi, Thinker Teacher. Hello, Chess with Jordan. Emily is playing OTB, and it is not rapid. It is classical. I believe 90 minutes with a 10-second increment. Okay, Emily developing her pieces. Rook on an open file. That really is the most perfect file for that rook. I love you too, Thinker Teacher. I love all you guys. Y'all are great. Shout out to the audience. We're out here for you guys. All right, opponent making a bishop move. Bishop to g5, no less. Pinning the knight. And potentially lining up knight to e4, attacking the pinned piece. Emily could always bring her bishop back to e7. So we shall see. Emily leaning forward, looking down at her pieces, assessing, scanning. Will she find the best move? And honestly, there's a lot of good moves. So the computer says the best move. What would you guys do if you had to guess here? I could give a hint as well. I believe that's right, Chess with Jordan. I think there's one game today, and there's 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. This is a DGT board that she got, and I don't believe it's working, unfortunately. Queen b6, says Uncle Esquire. I'm not the biggest fan of Queen b6 because this last move that White played, bishop to g5, pins the knight to the queen. So if we bring the queen off of this diagonal, White could take this knight, and then we'd have to take back with our g-pawn, which would double isolate our f-pawns. So I probably wouldn't touch the queen. Just for style points, Nork folds. It's a great point. We'll have to tell Emily afterwards, but Emily certainly is one for style, both on the chessboard and off the chessboard. The ceiling, though, at this venue looks like there's a lot of lights, so maybe not best for her eyes. All right, she addresses the pin. I'll tell you guys, the engine's favorite move here was bishop to g4. And I think this move makes a lot of sense because we already have 3 developed minor pieces, but there's this 4th guy that's not getting enough love and attention. But bishop to e7 it is. Sort of blocking the rook, but it opens up the queen. White might want to connect their rooks here, perhaps, but they could also play something else. Like this knight is pretty passive. Any bishop move will save it from the knight, although Emily has yet to capture. Ubby with the 70 months, you absolute legend. Shout out to Ubby. Thank you so much, dude. You're great. UCLA just registered for the Collegiate Chess League. The deadline was last night. 70 months. I know. I'll be an absolute legend. He's my rock since high school. 70. I mean, dude, it's basically been. What even is 70 months? 60 months is what, 5 years? So he's coming up on 6 years now. It's ridiculous. I don't deserve it. Anyways. You said that and I ignored you. I'm sorry, Oak Chess. I don't even know. I don't even know what you said. What, bishop g4? You said that you would develop the light square bishop. Yes. Do we know the player's ratings? Starsec. We know Emily's online rating, but opponent's rating we don't know because, well, I guess we do know. They're unrated. This is their first ever rated chess game that they have ever played in their lives. Okay, knight to f4. Now this move actually allows Emily to play quite forcefully with the move h6. Now, I could have given you the opportunity to come up with that on your own. However, I would have ignored it anyways. Anyways. No, but you might be wondering, Joe, why couldn't she have played h6 earlier? Wouldn't that have also forced the bishop? Well, because the knight is on f4, the bishop is actually limited on its responses after h6. Because now it can't go this way. It has to take. Before, the bishop could have retreated. Now, the bishop can't go to h4 in either scenario because after bishop h4, we'll play g5 and we will trap the bishop because there's a knight on g3. So what Emily should do is play h6. We're pretty much forcing the bishop to take on f6. And then we take back with our bishop, which helps open up our rook. It helps develop our bishop. Yeah, the board is electronic. It's not working right now. So we have to relay the moves the old-fashioned way, which is me making the moves on chess.com after I see them played. So I think it would be really cool if this game goes the distance and that both players are down to their increment, scrambling on the board, and see if I can keep up. Really, just give me a challenge, you know? This is too easy. Anyways, that's also why I have you guys here. Chat knows best, really. There's nothing that's going to get past chat. Anyways, Emily decided not to play h6, and now she's captured on d3. Now, the thing is, this knight now can recapture, which white does. And Emily could have taken on d3 many times before, which would have forced either a queen take or a pawn take, which could have damaged the pawn structure. In fact, if queen takes first, Emily could trade queens and force the pawn to take, but that would bring her into an endgame without the queens. But a favorable endgame for black in that white would have had a slightly damaged pawn structure. There was an isolated pawn that she could have worked against. She trades the bishop now, and white has the option to take with the knight and maintain the pawn structure. Also, without the knight on f4, this bishop has been given more options as well. So h6 doesn't come with as much of a punch as it did the move prior. What's up, Jerome? Good to see you. Why don't I use share chat? She would need to accept it. And I only went live after the delay had passed, I guess. So there's a 15-minute delay on the video feed. So by the time I had started the stream, she had already been in her game for 15 minutes. Now, the funny thing is her opponent was late. But I guess they were only late by 8 or 9 minutes. So there was not enough time. Okay, h6 now played by Emily. And we'll see. If she had played this the move prior, we would have really forced the bishop to take our knight. Now, white has the option to retreat the bishop. If they go to h4, Emily can trap the bishop with g5. Nice nickname you have. He was a great player. Are you talking about me? Are you talking about JoeBruin? Is the stream pre-recorded? Yes. I knew you would ask that at exactly this moment. And so I've answered it. It's live. Maybe. Maybe, senpai. It's Estonian Grandmaster. Limbit. Oh, you're talking to Limbit Ollie in the chat. Very cool. I don't know why I completely ignored that you were replying to someone else. If the pawn is on d3, black could possibly drop their knight to d5. Yeah, when the pawn captures, that creates an outpost square on d5, like you mentioned. A knight on d5 could not be kicked by a pawn if white took with the pawn. But because they maintained the pawn structure, this pawn on c2 could push and dislodge anything on d5. So that's a good point. But that is something Emily could go over with her new coach, as she is a participant in the recently announced Coach Champs, which I believe is underway. And if you're a fan of Emily, I'm sure you've heard of it and watched some of it as well. Emily is paired with none other than famous Grandmaster Benjamin Feingold, who I know she's met in person. Hi, I'm Joe. Welcome. Pleased to meet you. Thank you, Oak Chess. I've been blessed with the opportunity to commentate for Emily, not only just for this round, but also I'll be back, I believe, Sunday morning. Anywho. Is my name based off the Boston Bruins? No. Wait, what did white do? Or did the bishop trade? No, bishop went back here. And Emily played b6. She's looking to bring out this bishop. And now opponent has played a3, which I don't necessarily understand, but I like this move. Bishop to a6, which pairs nicely with the move she had played prior, b6. So you get sort of a continuation here. Emily has a plan, and her plan is to develop aggressively. Opponent has pin in hand, but they haven't made a move yet, have they? First time playing classical, it's hard. You have to annotate your games. That's something that takes some getting used to. And I know a lot of players that have played a long time and still will get their annotation wrong. And when I say I know players that are like that, really I know myself. It's me. I'm the guy that messes up. What's up, Nifa? Yeah, I guess I should explain my nickname. I am a hockey fan, but I'm not a Boston Bruins fan. I'm a St. Louis Blues fan. But that has nothing to do with my username. JoeBruin is a nickname I got from the UCLA Bruins, which is where I went to school. So the mascot's actual name is JoeBruin. So I stole his identity. Anyways. Okay, opponent, I think for a moment they were going to move their rook, but they realized Emily's last move came with a threat. Now, someone asked in chat, would I take the knight with the bishop just to damage the pawn structure? I will say it's a lot easier to answer if the knight wasn't protected. I would definitely take the knight to win a pawn. The answer to that question is an obvious yes for me. But here, this last move by white opens up the queen. So now we're in a similar sort of situation that we had when there was a knight, or sorry, a bishop on d3 and a knight that could have captured it. I think in that situation, I 100% would take a bishop for my knight to isolate the pawns. I might even do it just for the sake of taking a bishop for a knight. Now, this situation, it's a little reversed. Now it's our bishop taking the knight. Is it worth it just to damage the pawns? The thing is, it's not just trading the bishop for the knight, but it's also considering trading queens. So that is an added factor to the equation because there's a chance that white takes with the queen first. And in that instance, we have not damaged the pawn structure. We've only given up our bishop for the knight. So if they take with the queen, in order for us to damage the pawn structure, we also have to be okay with trading queens. And for that reason, I'm out. No deal for me. I am not one to trade queens here. I like the queens on the board. Why? Because the queens are very powerful. They're very aggressive. I like to attack with the queens. The queen is a piece that can deal pressure and can deliver checkmate if used properly. It can strike fear into the eyes of the opponent. The queen is a mighty powerful piece, but you have to be aggressive, right? If you're defensive, if you're scared, you should trade queens because it's a lot harder to attack without the queens. And also just trading pieces, it's harder to attack in general, right? Emily has already traded one set of minor pieces. She's given up her knight for a bishop. Emily has the bishop pair. Does she want to give up one of her two bishops? Give up the bishop pair that she has and a queen? I don't think so. She's probably assessing it. She's probably looking at it. Here's another thing to think about, you guys. The knight is pinned. The bishop isn't just targeting the knight. There's a rook on f1. We don't want to take pinned pieces. The fact that the knight is pinned is an inconvenience for white. By taking the knight, you're helping your opponent. Even if you're damaging their pawn structure, with queens off the board and with more minor pieces traded, it's actually difficult to attack if you keep trading. So Emily does not take the knight. She decides to play the move queen to c7. All right. Now, queen c7, this is a pretty popular square for the queen in many positions, many lines, many openings. The computer does not like this so much in this position in particular. My first thought is that we're allowing bishop to e5 with a tempo. The computer is not seeing that move at all, interestingly enough. However, there's this really nice move that it likes a lot. Knight to f5. Knight to f5. This bishop is well placed on the long diagonal. And this bishop still defending the knight. Remember, this bishop was pinning this knight and came all the way around here and is now attacking the knight yet again. So even though there's not a queen that's pinned anymore, this bishop is kind of playing a defensive role. A babysitter to the knight, if you will. So if the knight comes here attacking the bishop, the threat is actually to take the knight after and damage these pawns. Opponent misses knight f5 and instead develops their queen. The queen now comes out to f3, connecting the rooks for both sides. So both teams move their queen off the back rake. And now it's Emily's turn. So we'll see what she comes up with here. I like this move, knight d5, putting pressure on this really well-placed bishop. This is a move that comes to mind, although the computer doesn't seem to like it. I think the computer's probably going to be nervous about some knight f5 moves as well again. Let's see, I've been ignoring the chat a while. Who's your favorite Finnish player who plays or has played on the blues? That's a great question. Really testing my knowledge of Finnish players. I know more Swedish players, which I'm sure upsets you, and so that's probably not what a Finnish fan would want to hear. What's up, Nifa? Yeah, we had a player who is now our assistant general manager. I almost said grandmaster, which is so funny. Anyways, to chess fans, GM means one thing, but to sports fans, GM means another thing. But the Blues have a really good general manager, I think, Doug Armstrong. And he's been the general manager for Team Canada, which I think is pretty respectful. Pretty good. But the Blues had a player named Alexander Steen, who I think is partially Canadian, but his father, I believe, is from Sweden. But Steen retired, I think, shortly after the Blues won the Stanley Cup in 2019. And is now back in the office as a assistant general manager to Doug Armstrong. So eventually Doug's going to retire. I almost said graduate, but gosh, dude. Finn. I know there's the Finnish Flash, like what, Teemu Selanne? Big fan of Teemu. I mean, absolute Hall of Famer. But I remember him really with the Ducks. So I don't think he played for the Blues. I don't know. Anyways, probably enough hockey talk. Kapanen and Mikkola. Okay. You made commands for FAQ. Very nice. We've got the tournament command there. Did I shout out Nifa yet? Shout out to Nifa. Can Emily see the chat? I hope not. It looks like she's looking at the board. Anyways, so knight d5 played. A great move. Oh, good night, Oak. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the help. Yeah, I'm more than happy to continue the hockey conversation. But maybe when I'm not commentating for someone else. Maybe if I'm just streaming on my own. Although I will say this, you guys, fun fact about Emily, if you didn't know this, Emily is actually a former hockey player herself. So, anyways, thank you, Nifa. Yeah, knight d5 is a great move. It's taking pressure off of the knight, which helps free up her bishop. But also, it's putting pressure on this bishop. We're threatening to take it, which would damage white's pawn structure. But also, we would have two bishops versus two knights, which in an open position is an advantage because the bishops like open positions. The knights favor closed positions, and this position is pretty open right now. Does she have a FIDE rating? That's a good question, actually. I'm not sure. I should probably know. But I know she has USCF. She's around 1,000 USCF. Too weak, too slow. Hello and welcome. I'm doing well. How are you? Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. Everyone always asks, who's Joe? Not as many people ask, how's Joe? Anyways, that's a joke. Emily doesn't blunder. Emily sacrifices. It's true, Uncle Esquire. How are you? I'm feeling good. What's up, buddy? What's up? Yeah, I think it's nice. Charlotte hosts all these tournaments. Um, both FIDE rated, USCF rated. It's a great opportunity for a lot of these players. Okay, so we have a move. Opponent did not like the pressure on the bishop and said, how do you like it? Playing now bishop to e5, putting pressure on Emily's queen. Solid move here from white. Now, you can move the queen, or you can block and put the bishop back to d6. Both are very valid. If you move the queen, which it actually prefers, by the way, it's saying there's only one good option, interestingly enough, going back to the home square, which I will say this much, that is an awkward move to make. The computer likes it, but as a human myself, I would not want to put the queen back to the starting square. Now, you guys will have to trust me when I say that I am a human. It's actually kind of important for that bit of commentary to really land home. Because if you don't think I'm a human, then maybe it's confusing why I wouldn't play queen d8. I don't know. Hello, bad stuff. Anyways, the computer actually proving that it's not really human-like at all because it wants queen d8. So, let's see. Emily plays, I think, the more human move as well. This move is still good. This is, I think, preferable to other queen moves. Okay, opponent really wants to get their rook out of there. You could see his hand. He's loading it up. Oh. Did he touch it? Should we get the slow motion zoom in hands? This is zoom in hands close up. Do they have instant replay highlights in chess commentary? My production quality is not good enough. I'm sorry, I don't have that prepared. I don't think he touched it though. And Emily doesn't seem to have noticed. I don't think we need to call a ref, but maybe Emily could have thrown a flag on the play. Piece touched. Okay, Emily's getting up. She's walked around. Maybe she's gonna go to the... No, she's got a jacket. It's too cold. Yeah, opponent rubbing his hands together. Presumably for warmth. That or he's got some mischievous play that he's cooking up. Ooh, Emily's got the branded hoodie. Your move. Looks very comfy. Nice and stylish. Just all black. Anyhow. Fried Foxy, yes, this is 90 plus 10. Thank you, Chuck. Hello to Drake. You don't know which chat I'm responding to? Hopefully. Hopefully both. Who knows? Okay. Oh, he has touched the bishop. Bishop has retreated. Where to now? Back to d4. Wow. Now, this is quite interesting. c5, and her knight is no longer protected. Terrible move, says Nifa. Well, do you guys see why? Jerome thinks he touched it? Let's see the... I don't think he touched it. I think he touched the board. Are there rules against that? Maybe. I don't know. There she goes to call arbiter. It was a psychological play. Yeah, it looks like the crowd in the chat does not like bishop d4. He's going for queen to g4. Queen to g4 is definitely a aggressive move. This move threatens checkmate in one move, which is pretty good. It's a forceful move. Jim Bob sees it. Does Emily see it? What else is there, you guys? I like rook a8. I had mentioned the e-file is perfect for this rook. Rook f to e8 that Emily had played. Now there's absolutely no other piece on the e-file. But notice there's no pawns on the d-file either. There's a lot of minor pieces, but no pawns, which means it's an open file. And that is prime real estate for the rooks. There's only 2 pawns missing for each side. They're both the center 2 pawns. So rook a to d8, I think, is a prime candidate move. Now, are there tactics? There's a few captures you can make. You could trade both your bishops for both of their knights. Is that good, though? Does that do anything? I would think that taking here is actually kind of bad, in that we help maybe open up the queen and rook for white. Although, traditionally, it's best to capture towards the center. Capturing with the f-pawn could weaken this king on the diagonal, but we are giving up a dart square bishop, and that is the bishop that white has. So maybe it's not so bad. That being said, I would not take on g3. But you could consider taking perhaps on d3. In fact, it is the computer's favorite move. Why? Because what it wants is to play rook a d8. And I guess we're just pinning the queen. or the bishop. We're just lining the rook up with everything, which honestly is why I would rather prefer starting with rook ad8. And then it wants white to contest the file. But yeah, I'm curious what happens if queen takes c5 now. So now there's no queen takes knight in this situation. Bishop goes back. It has to go somewhere where we can capture it. So that's the whole point. And this might be the gut instinct as to why. Okay, bishop came back here now, which I think is a good move. She wants to play this c5 idea, and not hang her knight. And she also wants to open up the bishop on the long diagonal. The computer likes taking the knight because then we're forcing the pawn to capture. Because if queen takes, then we have c5. So here, white finds the best move, the move c4. And now this is actually kind of a tricky spot. She cannot bring the knight back, as it will be captured. She can't really move the knight forward unless she wants to go to f4, which is the best move. Although it was also considering this move c5, which is kind of interesting, but it's no longer suggesting that move, so maybe it's taken its mind back. What's up, Justin? Thank you for being here. Where can we scroll through the game? That's a good question. Let me actually share this game. Oh, actually, I was gonna share. I forgot. The DGC board is not working, so the game's actually not anywhere besides here. So, after the game, I will share the is it the PNG or PGN? I think it's the PGN. What does PGN stand for? Something game notation? Post game note? Anyways, PNG is like a picture format. Portable game notation. Portable. That's nice. As opposed to a non-portable, just a game notation. Just a GN. They had GNs back in the day. They're like, man, I really wish I could take this on the go with me. These game notations are just so bulky. Can't take them anywhere. It's a stay-at-home game notation. Thank you, Ron. Stationary. Yeah, okay. Anyways, after the game, I will share the portable game notation in the Discord server. So, !Discord if you'd like to join Emily's server. And you can review the game. Otherwise, you just have me here. So if you guys want to look at anything, here I think knight f4 is the way to go. Otherwise, you're playing knight e7, which is a little passive. Otherwise, you're playing c5, I guess. But anyhow, if we play knight to f4, a move that's been pointed out is queen to g4. She could bring her knight back to g6. Ooh, she's played c5. She's going aggressive. So she's going after that bishop. And she's opening up her bishop. So the one thing I was slightly concerned about in this position is if our piece is hanging and her piece is hanging, our opponent now has the opportunity to sacrifice the bishop. It's not necessarily a material sacrifice, as I think in the end it'll all balance out, but white could throw away the bishop and do some damage here. And if we take here, then we're in a little bit of trouble, actually. So After this move, what does it want? It requires some precision here, actually. It's saying 93 even. It's kind of ridiculous. Let's see. Let's see if opponent does it. We might not see bishop takes g7. But bishop takes g7 I think is a very aggressive move for white. I think it's a very tricky move. And I think it's a good move. I think that it'll inflict some damage on Emily's kingside pawn structure. Is 97 too bad? Yeah, 97 was not a favorable move. The computer did not like it. Probably, wow, it still likes this. Oh boy. There are lots of tactics here, you guys. Knight here. And we could have some problems. What would you do? You have to play knight f5. You could take here. But I mean, again, you just have to play knight f5. There's no way about it. So that's not very pleasant. Now, is it? Queen takes. And, I mean, our problems do not end there, unfortunately. We have to play knight here. Or bishop here, I mean. Knight takes. It doesn't even like queen takes. It likes rook takes. But yeah, this is after knight to e7. This is an aggressive move that I think not a lot of players will give much time considering. But this is tactically working with the knight on h5. Just the knight and queen combo, just pointing down at the king, is so deadly that black has to give up material to defend that. But white obviously has to invest material in order to get to that sort of position. Best is it likes knight f4 here to g6. But Emily, she goes all out with c5. We have the clash of material here, and white gets to take on g7. Now, I heard there's a general rule of thumb. White attacks you, and instead of retreating, you attack white. You're putting yourself in a position of risk in that your opponent had the first attack. That is what allows them opportunities to make these sort of moves, like bishop takes g7, which the opponent has just played on the board. And now Emily, she's leaning forward, and she's probably thinking, uh-oh, what have I gotten myself into? Let's see here. Now, the computer says it's fine. But as we all know, the computer sometimes can think in very inhumane ways. So this is a strong move. Emily has only a few options, and none of them involve taking on g7. If she takes on g7, she could get into some pain. So what would you do in this position? Well, it likes taking on g3. It also likes the move knight to e3, which is kind of funny. Knight e3 is a discovery on the queen. I think I saw this earlier, but I forgot this detail. Let's see what Emily has in store. Knight e3 would be quite an interesting move. Knight f4 is also a move. But yeah, this knight e3 line is actually kind of ridiculous. and I have a sneaking suspicion that Emily will not play it. Um, I mean, I don't even see all the ideas behind this move. Here it likes queen h5. Here it likes bishop takes g3. Here it likes h takes g3. Here it likes queen to c6. Did you guys see that move? Wait, sorry, c6. That, okay, I guess makes a bit more sense. So then what? Knight f4. Knight takes g2. Queen takes h6. We're threatening mate in 1. Oh, okay. Queen takes, bishop takes, knight takes, and then bishop takes. Did you guys see all that? All that, and we're down a pawn. But it's opposite color bishops. The computer says it's a draw. So yeah, maybe we can get the bishop here and checkmate our opponent on the H file. Fingers crossed, right? No. I don't think that will be played. Sorry if I'm a bit of a Debbie Downer, a non-believer. Yeah, this is opponent's very first rated game. Emily WGM, you're looking great, Bishop Stars. Thank you. So yeah, Emily here had her piece under attack, and she decided to attack White's piece. And now she's facing the consequences of her actions. This allows for the sharp bishop takes g7, which opponent has seemingly pulled out of thin air. Although this could have all been part of Emily's plan. She could have seen this all along. She probably saw this variation before the opponent even showed up to the board. And that's what happens when you give your opponent time to think. All she needed were those 8 minutes or 9 minutes that he was late. By the way, Emily is down on time now after that, unfortunately. Hashtag yikes, Zach, I agree. Okay, now she plays knight f4. So the computer is calling for queen to g4. Wow, queen g4 wants f5. I thought queen g4 we would play h5, but then I guess there's no, but here I guess I'd do that. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Oh wow, he's played queen g4 instantaneously. h5, the computer briefly suggests it. I guess the problem with h5, there's knight takes h5, huh? Shoot. Forgot about that. Anyways, scary position. That's for certain. Wow, knight e2 is a move. That's pretty ridiculous. Notice that this move hangs this knight. Okay, she's just brought the knight back to g6, but I think just bishop takes h6 now. But let's see what's the worst that could happen after this. Okay, I guess we're getting mated. So that's pretty bad. Yeah. All right, well, knight g6, and now yeah, opponent has just taken on h6. So Emily, with 50 minutes left on the clock, has just given up both her h and g pawns. Which, you know, when you put it like that, it just kind of sounds a bit rough. So yeah, c5 I think could have been a move where she probably could have looked at this a little bit deeper. So that was unfortunate. I am Divinity. Thank you so much for the 4-month sub. Also, shout out to Zach. Yeah, it's not like any two pawns. It's two pawns in front of the king. What's up, Bauer? Yeah, nothing quite like OTB. The computer was saying there's this move F5, which I guess helps us a little bit. Now H5. We've distracted the knight. But I still am not entirely... Oh, knight H3 check. It like, oh my god. You guys, it's ridiculous. Oh, bishop takes H2 for mate. Oh my god. Oh my word. Did you guys see all that? Holy smokes. F5, what a move. That was that's just so awesome. Oh my god. Dude. What a just a gem of a line. F5, because if queen takes, then okay, then bishop. I was thinking we take that, but I guess we don't. Wait, why wouldn't we? Knight takes F. Oh, yeah. Okay, okay. So here we really have to play this, or we could take on D3. Well, takes, or it likes that. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a tough spot. This is a good position though. It likes this for sure. Queen to F6. There's only one move that's good. Rook E6. Man, oh man. This is some brutal stuff. Like what's wrong with this? Queen takes and I mean, now if we try this. Just Queen H7. Queen H7, Rook AD1, it likes. Oh my god. Rook AD1 is cold. Anyhow. Yeah, very sharp line for sure. Knight takes. This is just brilliant. This knight H3. Knight H3 followed by bishop H2 mate is so pretty. Yeah, just a crazy, crazy line. Okay, well. Here then you take on D3. It likes a lot. Even then it's the party's not over. It likes white still actually. With the move bishop to C3. Yeah, I mean your king just has like nothing in front of it. There's just so many white pieces. So yeah, this was I think a very important turning point in the game. Bishop takes G7. Emily played knight F4, queen to G4, knight to G6, and then bishop takes H6. And now Emily is in a pickle. But yeah, there's a lot of people these days who play chess, and a lot of them get really good, all without having played OTB ever before. So this could be one of those people. I recently just saw a team register for the Collegiate Chess League who said that they have a player who is 2300 blitz, but their USCF is 900. So hopefully they can win some prize money in an under section. maybe a few times over. But there are sharks out there, you guys. Sharks in the water. You gotta watch out. Well, I will say this much. If you are playing your first OTB tournament and you are like really strong, um I would say it's totally fair. You can play in whatever your rating allows you to play in, right? Okay, bishop c8 played here. An attack to the queen. Also, that's an adorable emote, Nifa. So cute. Shout out to Uncle Jesse. They call the pawns prawns. You wish you saw half of what Stockfish sees? If you were half of Stockfish's elo, you'd be like, well, how strong is Stockfish? Hope all is well. You need to come to CLT soon, so we can do a post Vegas catch up. Shout out to I Am Divinity, who I haven't seen streaming as much, but always good to see you. Maybe Divinity could have played in this tournament. I don't know, why not? 3,400 for Stockfish? I don't know, it seems low. School is killing you right now. Slammed with school? Honestly, I didn't know you were in school. But good to have you in the chat regardless. But yeah, speaking of school, I don't know if your school has a chess club, but they could have joined the Collegiate Chess League. Full-time working and full-time student. Yeah, I could see why you lose time for streaming. We need more I'm Divinity subscribers. Now, am I an I'm Divinity subscriber? No. I'll be the first to admit. I'll take the blame, the burden. Why I'm Divinity has to work a job. I don't have enough money, you guys, to give to all the streamers out there. I mean, my one prime can only go so far. What happened to the position, Mystery Man? He played Queen H5. Thank you. So what happened was Emily lost 2 pawns by playing C5. Yeah, really, it's, you know, if you sub to me, I'll sub to you. But even then, it's really just Amazon that's getting all the profit. In my head, like, subs still cost $5, but they're $6 now. Man, inflation hitting hard. Anyways. Yeah, Twitch takes half of it. How can she come back, Swings? That's a great question. She needs to keep playing some good solid moves here. And, you know, the game is far from over. So she's played rook to e6, it looks like. Now the computer really likes this move f4 to force f5. We'll see if they go for that, but what could Emily be thinking? Like, thinking of bishop f8, maybe. Yeah, it's the guy's first rated game. Now, just because he's up 2 pawns doesn't mean that he knows what to do with it. This guy could be sweating bullets and just as nervous as can be. This guy might never have played a checkmate in his life. He's a fast player though. Oh, and he's just played the best move, but he did not hit the clock. Emily didn't see it though. I don't think she's looked at it. She most certainly is looking for her next move. But this could be an opportunity, you guys. If he doesn't hit his clock for the next hour, she could dirty flag him. That's right. Yeah, Emily's down to like 40 something minutes. So she's used about half her time. But yeah, she hasn't looked at the clock yet, so I don't know. Or maybe that's part of her. That's one thing I have to tell you guys is that if you don't want your opponent to notice the clock, you yourself cannot look at the clock. Because when you look at the clock, they're going to look at the clock. It's a dead giveaway. So this could all be part of Emily's plan. Emily already told him the first two moves. Maybe she could have flagged him by now if she had never. They could be sitting on move one, and the guy's just like, "Wow, she's really thinking about e4." But no, she gave him not only the courtesy once, but twice, back to back, moves one and moves two. You'd think after the first time he'd remember, but it's his first ever tournament. It's his first ever official rated game. This man's never played with a clock before. The guy's probably reaching for his mouse every move. Like, why can't I move these pieces? Anyways, no, I have a feeling Emily's going to figure out what move she wants to make, and then she's gonna like play her move and then realize that the clock wasn't hit yet. Which, I mean, I think is fine. But we'll see. I mean, she's gotten an extra 2 minutes out of this. So, we will take as much time as is afforded to us. Of course, because she's already helped him twice. So, I mentioned this at the beginning when she first helped him. My philosophy in this situation is to tell them the first time, but no more after that. That's how I personally play. Emily's already given this guy 2 chances. She's given him the courtesy twice at the start, so she doesn't owe him anything to help him. But also, like, he's still up on time. It's only been 3 minutes. So I am curious, though, to see how long this could take. I don't even know if Emily's noticed. I hope she has. And if she has, she's doing a great job of not showing it. It's part of that. Oh, I think Emily's gonna make a move, though. I just have a feeling. I have a feeling. She should get up and get water or something. That, I think, is kind of weird to get up on your turn. That could also be a... That could be a tell. Is what allowed it. She's allowed to get up and move around whenever, regardless if it's her time or not. What happens if she herself doesn't know and she plays a move and if she plays a move, then it's his turn. and then he can play. And then at that point, maybe he remembers to hit the clock, but maybe he forgets. The thing is, if Emily moves and she hits the clock, she will then 100% know that her opponent forgot to hit the clock. And then Emily might make some sort of gesture. She might give it a funny look or something. Probably she wouldn't say anything, but she might. But she will have observed that the opponent didn't hit the clock. And then she can remember that because she'll pay more attention. And I guarantee you she'll keep an eye on it. This is an opportunity to get some time back, right? It's been 5 minutes. What's up, Bouncing? Good to see you. Acting class can help your chess. Dota 2 lessons. It's true. Shout out to Dota 2 lessons. There's a streamer called Dota Chess. Shout out to Dota Chess. If this dude flags, I will literally die. No, there's like 0 chance he flags. Now, I think like at most he gives like another, at most, like, I don't know, 20 minutes? Like, surely I think if you are sitting there waiting long enough, it's like, it becomes very apparent. You're like, oh my God, this is taking like forever. And you like just naturally, out of curiosity, there it is. Oh yeah, I don't know. Do you guys think she's acting? You guys think Emily's okay, so that was 7 minutes. 7 minutes there. Have I recovered from the loss? 2 week too slow. Against you? I guess I have, because I don't even remember. I don't even know what loss you're talking about. Are you asking me about the Blues Game 7 loss against the Winnipeg Jets? Clearly not, because I still remember it like it was yesterday. Double overtime. Absolutely devastating. Anyways, we have a move now. Did she play just... What'd she play? Oh, yes. F4, my apologies. And now rook to E3. I didn't even have the move on my board. I wasn't even ready. All right. Hello, Ollie. Good to see you. A recent bullet game. I mean, I've played so many. Is your username the same on chess.com or is it different? He listens to the broadcast, Nifa. Well, the broadcast is 15 minutes delayed. To the live camera feed. So he only lost 7 minutes. So the math doesn't quite add up. FIDE rules, you cannot leave the playing hall when it is your move. I didn't know that. USCF says you can. However, any opponent is going to complain to the TD if your opponent leaves the playing hall when it is their move. A TD may have them follow to ensure they don't talk to anyone, etc. That makes sense. How's my game? It's a good question, Joe. I'm not playing much OTB. I played in a rapid quads the other day and lost all 3 of my games. So, you know. Yo, shout out to Matt. My God. Matt's an absolute legend. All right, rook to f3 played, defending the knight. offering a rook trade. Guess what, dude? Did you get that 2K? Did you get it off stream or did I miss it? Absolute legend. 2K, baby, let's go. Dude, I mean, it's about time, Matt. It's about time. Matt had like 6 chances. 6 games, he was one away. And he lost each and every single one. But yeah, Matt's first time ever playing me on stream, he beat me. I'm like, man, this guy's underrated. But Matt's rating at the time was like, I don't know, you're like 1700 or something. He beat a 2200 to get it. Well, that wouldn't have been the first time. Beat a 2165. Let's go. Yeah, it's huge, dude. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Matt is an NFL player who streams chess, which is really cool. And he's a legend. He's 2000 plus. Now for the 2K Blitz. Huge, huge milestones. $2,000 rated on online. That's gotta be almost as cool as getting into the NFL. I don't know what's harder. I'm just kidding. Okay, Emily's played queen to e7. Dude, imagine Matt playing OTB. We could see some Matt OTB streams. I'd commentate for you, Matt, in a heartbeat. You just give me the word. Okay. This guy, he knows what he wants to play. He's displaying it for sure. There he goes. So he wants to kick this this knight away. Elation was similar. That's awesome, man. Yeah, Matt plays for the Denver Broncos. No, I agree. I think this guy's underrated too, for sure. Honestly, chasing your chess peak, it's a different kind of high, for sure. You put in a lot of time and energy into chess, and it's very rewarding to see you hit your rating goals and see it's paying off. That being said, chess can also create a lot of frustration, right? A lot of people put a lot of time and energy and don't see, new peaks. And I think like all it comes down to is your mentality. Everyone has different goals, right? Shout out to John Curtis. Thank you so much for the raid. For those of you joining us, this is Emily Plays Chess playing in the Charlotte Fall Open. This is round 1. She's playing against an unrated opponent. This is her opponent's first ever rated classical game. This is both USEF and FIDE rated. Obviously in Charlotte. Emily's got the black pieces, and she is unfortunately on the receiving end of things here. She is defending a tough position where she's down 2 pawns, the G and H pawns in front of her king. So she's got a weak king that she's dealing with, and she's facing the pressure. Opponent has just played the move F5, attacking her knight. So here her best move is to trade rooks. Rook takes F3. Bigfoot with a huge raid. Welcome in, everyone. I was just explaining to John Curtis's raid. But yeah, we're watching Emily Plays Chess. Have a good night, Matt, if you're still here. Appreciate you being here, stopping by, and sharing your accomplishments. We're all very proud of you. Shout out to Matt Henningsen. Absolute legend. Okay, Emily has found and played the best move. Rook takes f3. And now the opponent really has two ways to capture. But also, he could potentially sack the exchange. Which might be crazy. All right. I don't know if there's any mods in the chat, but there's a crazy person in the chat. You can tell by their username. I don't know what Emily's chat rules are. Some people really don't like all caps. Who knows? You're not Nifa. I wasn't talking about you. Thank you, John Curtis. We love you too. I appreciate that. John Curtis, definitely a legend. Please go check him out. Give him a follow. Show him your love and support. Shout out to Bigfoot as well. Bigfoot, one of my favorite people on the planet. Thank you, champion. Okay, so opponent takes back with the queen. They decide to keep the pawn structure. And so now Emily has an opportunity here to save her knight, which she does by playing knight to e5. Now, this also comes with a punch to the queen, but do the people know that the rook on a8 is hanging? I don't know. Do you guys know? I certainly don't know. Emily, I think, did she just notice it? She might have to put on her poker face. It's a tough world, you know, on the chessboard. There's problems. There's a lot of problems for sure. But yeah, she needed bishop b7 intermezzo. So yeah, there goes her rook. Whoopsies. She just forgot a move. What's up, senpai? Appreciate you being here. Oh, thank you, John. John, one of the great talents from Australia, I believe. Yeah, bouncing. Good call out. I don't know if Emily's eaten yet. Hopefully she has. It's about to be 8:30 p.m. local time for her. So I've never been to Charlotte. I don't know what the scene is like there as far as places to eat. Maybe Divinity could give me a tour. It is late, it's true. Okay, so Emily has moved the king, and Emily is not giving up just quite yet. So this bishop is hanging. This bishop is hanging. Probably just any trades are favoring white. That being said, there's a world where, you know, we could get something going. It's not over until it's over. And it's certainly not Jover until I say it's Jover. What are their ratings? Her opponent is unrated. Emily is around 1,000 USCF. Charlotte is great, says Jim Bob. You'll tag along if I go? All right. If I'm in, Senpai's in. Sounds like Jim Bob is there. I think Divinity's there. Unless he's traveling, which I wouldn't put it past him. But it sounds like we got a trip. We're going to go do a little meet and greet with Emily, probably. We'll just show up at Emily's chess center and register for a tournament. We'll surprise her. Nobody tell her. What's up, Christomir? Good to see you. They don't have restaurants. Dang. Yeah, I can already imagine Danya's Valley Girl accent. But I'm sure they have Starbucks. So the Valley Girl shouldn't be without any choices. What's Jover or not Jover? Well, the position is not quite Jover. It's getting there. All right, opponent agrees that trading bishops seems simple enough. So we see a capture on c8. Now, Emily actually has a choice. She could take the bishop, or she could take the knight. Interesting for sure. But I guess you take the knight and leave the bishop hanging. If you take the bishop, you could see this trade. You could see this check, which is quite annoying. King would have to go here, and yeah, you don't really want to take this actually. So you probably want to take that, I suppose. Yeah, you know, this guy, he might forget to hit his clock again. All right, we see capture of the knight. And yeah, even if she could also get even if she could get the second piece. I mean, to be fair, like Queen E3 looks so good. If only. Maybe if opponent brings the bishop, maybe opponent forgot that the queen can see it now because the knight just moved. If opponent plays bishop to E3, I think we're winning. I think we have a good chance. Like imagine guys. We have mate in 1 if they go there. And if they go here, then we've got ourselves quite the smother spectacle. That'd be a fun way to finish the game, wouldn't it? All right. Bishop E3. If we all think really hard about it, maybe he'll do it. Or maybe he'll just never move and we will flag him. Or you never know if he doesn't hit his clock again. Where's Emily's rook? She lost it in a tragic accident. How old is Emily? She's like my age. Maybe a little older. And I'm very young. Old enough. Yeah, she's... I don't know. Do the mods in Emily's chat, is there like a command? Dude, everyone calls me Ong. So 35 exactly. Yeah, I was okay. Bishop E3. Oh, one move short. We were so close, you guys. It was Bishop D2 instead. Played. That being said, I mean, I'm still not giving up, you guys. Like, imagine she takes the knight, right? Just bear with me. Pawn takes, because what else? And then queen here. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's not, like, winning still, but, like, there are problems that we can pose. Did I coach Emily? I've given Emily some lessons, but they pale in comparison to the more qualified coaches that she's had. She's had lessons with Dina. She's had lessons with the great Ben Feingold himself. You can coach Emily. Have you coached Emily? What is Emily's OTB? She's around 1,000. Last I remembered. All right, and unfortunately, not only did the opponent not blunder, but they also hit their clock. So that is unlucky. All right. Do you guys want another possibility here? Imagine for a moment. What's going on? We could see like rook here. That could be a big blunder. All right, but it is Emily's turn. So, ooh, she's going with she's taking a pawn. No. Yes? She's taken on b2. And she's going for a second pawn. I was thinking she could have gone like here. Potentially. The problem is, like, there's no good moves. They're all bad. Her best move was to take on g3. No, it's like in queen e5 now. Yeah, but like, yeah. What do these moves do, you know? How is queen e5 a good move? Oh, we're tempting. Oh, that would have been sick. Imagine. Queen e5 would have been so 5-head. Just baiting the bishop to just go here. Oh. Who knows? He's been playing fast. It could have been a temptation for sure. Yeah, I kind of like the knight on d3. Super tempting bouncing for sure. I mean, I would have blundered it. She's 52. I always ignore the chat. I've never read a single chat message. Whoa, look at this move. Queen to a8. What a move. Guy thinks there's still a rook there. He's capturing the ghost rook. The rook doesn't even have a chance to rest in afterlife. Do I think she's thinking about smother mate? I wish she was thinking about smother mate. I certainly was thinking about smother mate. If I say clock one more time, just having fun. All right, I'll be sure not to say it. Thoughts on Emily Higgins qualifying for the candidates via the Grand Swiss? I think that would be very fun. That'd be really cool for her, I think. I think that there'd be a lot of skeptics out there. I think a lot of people would be like, how did she do that? That's crazy. But I get to say I was a fan since day one. I was a believer. And I saw it coming a mile away. Anyways, Emily's just collecting pawns. Left and right. She is going to get... I was going to say she was going to balance the material one pawn at a time. But she's down 5 points of material. And the opponent only has 4 pawns left. What's he doing in the corner? The queen? Honestly, maybe queen e4. Queen. Well, no, that hangs that. Emily's got threats. Whoa, look at this move. Pawn to e6. Or sorry, f6. So now this comes with check, which would also be a fork. So what does Emily do here? Probably you play here, and you're attacking that. Probably. The problem is probably white checks us. And then if we trade, then knight defends and attacks. What's our chances here, you guys? We are down a whole rook. Hmm. Oh, you know what? She could just take this pawn. Hope that she gets checked and forked. White takes the knight and then returns the favor of hanging the rook in the corner. Yeah, she's taking this pawn. The computer says it's the third best move. It says queen e5 is best. But I like this because, you know, the rook is hanging first, but also, you know, if we just like let white check us and trade queens, then our chances just diminish. So Emily is not giving up without a fight. She's not a quitter. She's a fighter. Opponent, you know, just gifted a pawn, so let's not be rude. Okay, queen check has landed, forking the king and the knight. Emily will surely move her king. If you block with the queen, you will lose your knight for free. So probably we leave our queen where it is. That's true, Nifa. He might not know how to checkmate. Also, you guys, what an honor it is to see someone's first ever rated game. Do you guys remember your first ever rated game? I remember mine. I actually won mine against I think it was, his name's Alan Glasgow, maybe, up at the Berkeley School of Chess. Shout out to Berkeley. Some of you might have heard of that place. Some of you might have even lived there. Or maybe even went to school there. You got your game in the national newspaper? That's sick. Whose first rated game is it? It's our opponent, Emily's opponent. You're not rated, Charlie. Well, you could. You kept your move sheet? That's awesome. Yeah, I try to keep all mine. He missed a mate. Oh, your opponent. Yeah, it sounds like everyone that shared about their first game has won it, which means there's a lot of people not talking about. You were kind of okay. So she's played the king back to the corner. King down to h8. So now we have to consider there's another check, but also so the rook is hanging, the knight's hanging. Now the scary thing about the king here, though, is that I was going to say we could lose the knight, take the rook, and then get forked by the bishop, but that's not a legal move because taking the rook, not only are we winning the rook, but we're also giving a check, which is really nice. Okay, opponent decides to save the rook with a tempo. And now we are not threatening the rook with check. And now both our knight and our queen are both hanging. Therefore, we must find something. I guess we could take this with tempo. The problem is they have this check, so that's not great, first and foremost. But also, they could even just take here, take here, take here, and they're still up a rook, and soon to be more. So, if we wish to save both our pieces, we must do something a little sad, perhaps like trading queens. What else am I even missing? Maybe we go here. We give up the knight, but we take the bishop. But that being said, I don't even think that we're gonna trade. If we don't trade queens, we're getting checked. And then we're getting checked yet again. And to top it all off, I think we're gonna get just checkmated. So it's getting to the end of the road, so to speak. As sad as that is. I will say this though, it's been a fun journey. You can see a bit of the playing hall is starting to clear out. And this is the first game of many. I think if you are to lose a game in a tournament, losing the first one is always okay. You've got the rest of the tournament to go. So, and yeah, Emily's a trooper. She learns from all of her losses, which is very important. Emily is someone who loses and yet comes back stronger. Emily is a true testament to what it means to play chess for the love of the game. I hear it multiple times on every Emily stream that she's gonna quit chess. And yet she keeps coming back. Okay, so she's giving a check, you guys. Opponent might make an illegal move. Like queen to e8. No. I don't even know how you could blunder as white. It's borderline blunder proof. Anyways, the queens are traded. The queens come off the board. And now it's Emily who's in check. And now she's going to have to take, which she does. Now the bishop is hanging. The bishop is hanging. She could always stalemate, it's true. Illegal move doesn't help in classical. It depends. Sometimes like I've certainly played illegal moves before. Has it benefited my opponent? No, there was one time I played a check when I was in check. But luckily for me, the piece I moved wasn't legally movable. So I really... It's really proving Nifa's point, to be honest. But I think like you could get like a time penalty. You have time added to your opponent's clock. Anyways, the bishop... White's deciding to continue the trading of pieces. Emily does have some passed pawns that could be of value. The problem is the rook is of greater value, currently speaking. But there's a point where passed pawns are actually more valuable than a rook. It's just not Emily's pawns in this position, unfortunately. But if you get, I think it's like, what, 2 pawns on the 3rd or 6th? Definitely 2 pawns on the 7th or 2nd. I don't know what that's worth. That's got to be worth like a queen. But anyways. Did the opponent seem like a beginner? I think by definition they could be considered a beginner. But also I would say no, the opponent did not seem like a beginner. Except for the times where they forgot to hit the clock, which is thrice. Apologies to whoever so that they're going to lose it if I said that word again. But I agree with Jerome. Opponent played pretty well. Yeah, I definitely think that it's good to play the games out because you can learn a lot from the end games. There's like a handful of moments earlier on in the game that Emily definitely could have improved. I did say thrice, describing how many times our opponent forgot to hit the piece of chess equipment that measures time. What's wrong with the word thrice? Did someone say there was something wrong with the word thrice? Where can you see the whole game? I will share the PGN in Emily's Discord after. Or I mean, I could also put it in my Discord if people don't want to join hers. We do have two channels, two chats going on. I will say this. If you're watching an ad on one channel, you could try your luck on the other channel. That way you could avoid ads better. But maybe if you go to one channel, it'll start getting ads. Maybe they sync the ads up. Although I have a feeling they don't do that because some channels have different ad settings. So who knows? Invite you. I have a Discord command. But yeah, we only want nice people in the Discord. Oh, my bot doesn't work. You'll have to go through my about section, I guess. It's linked in there somewhere. I'll have to fix JoeBot later. Fiancentino. Anyways, I don't know if Zach's still in the chat, but we have more rounds in the future. Emily's planning on covering with commentators, so you're all in for a treat. I don't know who they will be, but I know Emily has an eye for talent. Emily has high standards for sure. So I don't know how I made the cut. I think she was kind of desperate. Didn't have any other choices. Probably. Anyways, Emily doesn't trade bishops right away, but the opponent surely will. She's played king to g8, which is kind of a peculiar move. But at the same time, she's just defending her f-pawn. If she goes to g7, she's getting hit by the old knight f5 fork. So that is unfortunate. She saw that, though, so she's not giving up another piece. She might blunder the rook in the corner, but she's not going to blunder the knight fork. What's the fastest time control in classical chess? It probably varies between USCF and FIDE. Probably. But I wouldn't know. Nor would I know the answer to that question for either FIDE or USCF. So if someone smart in the chat could help answer, that'd be appreciated. Unfortunate. Did you guys copy each other? Someone said that in both chats. Alright, the knight arrives to f5 anyways. really forcing the issue. I'm not sure why opponent didn't just take the bishop, but knight f5, forcing Emily to do something. So, where to go? That's true, I am worst. You don't know? I don't know either. How many rounds of the tournament? I believe it is 5 rounds. This is the first of 5. There should be 2 tomorrow and 2 on Sunday to conclude the tournament. So I should be back on Sunday at some point. I forget which round. Probably the early one. Maybe I should check. Maybe she'll not have me back. Maybe she'll rewatch this and see how much I talked about hockey. Is Dina playing? That's a good question. I think she is not playing. But don't quote me. I believe this is an under section. And there's also a open section. So there might be some more DGT boards. All right, Emily, let's see. We gotta move the bishop. Where's that bishop going? Also, our pawn is hanging too. So I feel like there's really 2 moves here. There's bishop to e5 and then there's bishop to c5. So she's moved her bishop to c5. And now the opponent could trade bishops, but that would give her 2 connected passed pawns, which could be very valuable. Okay, but now we see knight h6, and this is opening up the rook again, forking the king and the pawn. So this could win more material. Now, that being said, if king to g7, there's no time for rook takes, as that would hang the knight. So if knight takes, that's not with check. That gives Emily an opportunity to do something. That being said, this pawn is hit twice, technically. So Emily does play king g7. She may lose the f-pawn, but she also may win the a-pawn. And Emily has a bunch of passed pawns that, if white's not careful, Emily could turn them into queens. We do see knight takes on f7. So now Emily can take on a3. Let's see. She could also try pushing this pawn. She could also try trading. These are her main options, truly. She could push this pawn with check, actually. Get the pawn here, and then this rook can't guard promotion and the knight. So there's a world where the opponent doesn't know how to checkmate. What happens if they write down the wrong moves? I mean, I don't think it's that important. That happens a lot, actually. I think it's really only important if there's like a dispute between the players, I think. The odds of them both getting it wrong, though, are lower. Less than at least someone getting it right. All right, she's pushed with check. And now we could see a blunder. We could see rook f2. Like, imagine the opponent forgot that this was check and tried putting the rook here. They'd be forced to move the rook to block the check. And then Emily would be right back in it. So we could see. Keep an eye on that rook, you guys. Oh, no, he's already moved the king. Never mind. Dang, he played a good move. But yeah, I agree. Also, the bishop could have traded. This guy is just like... He doesn't want... I mean, I get it. He doesn't want to connect the pawns. So that's fair. But okay. There's still chess to be had. Moves to be played. Emily could push said pawn yet again. But let's see. It's her turn. She's got 20 minutes to 40 minutes. Can she get this pawn home? Can she bring it on home? All right, knight now attacking the rook. So what does it like? It actually likes bishop check. It's a nice move. If the king steps up, we're getting forked. Although this is hanging. So this is interesting because the rook is tied to the knight, right? But white might have to just give up the piece. White might have to give up the piece, and Emily's still fighting. She's not giving up because the rook also has to guard the back rank. Although the knight was helping control d2. Now it's not, but Emily perhaps could trade bishops at any moment. And if the knight gets here, or the pawn gets here, there's winning chances for black. White could throw it all away. They really could. Will they? I guess we'll find out. We're in too deep, you guys. There's no going back now. We're all invested in this together. Every move Emily makes, we're here supporting her, backing her, cheering for her, rooting for her, anticipating every move the opponent makes is to be a catastrophic blunder. I mean, Emily could deny the bishop trade and she could go here. Like, there's a chance she could get a perpetual. People are saying stalemate is always a possibility. Okay, we see the rook up now. I kind of like bishop d4. I kind of like it, you guys. I don't know about you guys, but that bishop d4 though. Bishop d4 and like maybe knight here. Maybe. Like, I think Emily might win a piece. And then she's only be down like in exchange, which is holdable. Opponent could throw. Like, Emily could come back. You know, Emily's gears are turning. For sure. She's like, she is not giving up. The will is strong. She feels like she's on the verge of something. She's on the cusp. Knight g4. Bishop takes. You want knight takes, bishop takes, and then d2. That's actually also very possible. Knight g4 is a great attempt. It's a double attack on the rook. And white might think, oh, I'm going to get both minor pieces for the price of my one rook. And I'll be up 2 minor pieces. And then forget about the pawn that's promoting next. And also the knight that's hanging on f7. But, man, if I can play hope chess, which I can. That's what I'd hope for. What about a5? a5, I think I don't like this check. I like bishop to d4 kind of makes sense. I mean, in theory, can you just take and push? What else does it say? Knight c4? Takes, knight c4. Knight e5. What's the computer even thinking? Takes, knight here. Knight e5 it's saying. If we push this... Ooh, rook here's... Yeah, it's annoying. That's actually crazy that that's like the only way forward. Wait. What else? There's got to be something else here, right? Knight d6 is possible. d2. Knight f5, okay. It's like, I mean, white's got to be really tricky. They got to find something like, what else is there? Rook f1 it likes? Oh yeah, rook f1. You could even play rook d1. This is fine. Huh. I mean, I don't know. Black could get a second pass pawn. Engine's on. I think this game might be closer than the engine makes it out to be. There are ways. And she's really trying to come up with something tricky here. Yeah, never resign with a knight. Opponent could always flag me if it's true. The clock, now that Emily is down to 16 minutes, it looks like opponent only has 39 seconds. But unfortunately, opponent has 39 minutes. It's true, move by move, but maybe they don't know that. Just having fun still here. That's good. Yes, Prage. Why not knight d1? Yeah, that's a good question too, actually. Oh, I guess our discovery checks are not so good because they can always just take. Even if we get a double check, the king can slip out in that direction, I think. And then we don't get our checks anymore. Yellow flag, I missed it. I should be looking. Okay. So, what has she done? Oh, she did play a5, huh? Takes. You guys. These pawns. Although 95 looks pretty good. Dang, 95. Oh, but c4 is protected by our knight. It's not over yet. She does have two connected passed pawns. Okay, here. Let's say, like, I don't know. Let's say something. There's always this. So annoying. Okay, so opponent has played knight e5. You like d6 to e4. I don't know. I mean, they're both winning. It likes knight e5 slightly more, but not by much. Yeah, but yeah. Any Yeah, Emily's pushing the pawn. Emily is not giving up. There's a world where yeah. It's like she's so close. The pawns can be powerful, but the pieces seem to be doing a job well done so far. It's like if she had, you know, some like just she needs one more catalyst. Opponent is unrated. Their first ever rated game. Okay, rook d2. Sorry, I put in a bad move. Rook d2. We were looking at this. This, it's close. It's close, but it, like even if she attacks this, like she could drop this, right? And this is just really, really clean win for white. But yeah, there's so many ways white can mess up. So many ways. I did kind of like the knight g4 idea Bouncing had earlier. Could have been a try for sure. This makes sense. She wanted the connected pass pawns, but her king is completely cut off, and it's just hard. Like, no matter what you do, you're gonna drop a pawn, right? You move the knight, you're gonna lose a pawn. You move a pawn, you lose a pawn. So, let's see. Okay, but the rook here, this perhaps gives Emily a chance to bring her king in. So maybe she plays king here. Your computer just wants to take on c4. It's just, it makes too much sense, but or even taking on d3 as well. Oh man, there's I like, yeah. If he gives up the knight for both pawns, like, I think that's kind of a sign of a strong player. You can tell he knows that the pawns are Emily's only counterplay. You could lose material by taking them, but it simplifies things a lot. And it just like immediately dashes her hope, really. He will not take on c4. Yeah, I think like if I'm playing with the black pieces, if I put myself in Emily's shoes and I'm trying to stir up as much trouble as possible, just like I want to attack the knight and just generally speaking bring the king in to assist. My hope is that the opponent doesn't want to give up material, right? You don't want to give up a knight for 2 pawns in a lot of cases. But like as soon as they do, then it just ends the game, really. I mean, at that point, you kind of know that they know what they're doing, but you could tell yourself there's still stalemate. But this really, I think, is kind of your last chance to try to get the king in. So, okay, she's played knight to f1. And again, there's this knight takes c4 idea. Um, but yeah, I think maybe we could have tried bringing the king in because you hope that opponent sort of messes up, puts their knight somewhere else, and alleviates the pressure on the pawns. And who knows? Maybe you still have a game at that point, right? So okay, here like moving the rook is a similar sort of situation that we were in earlier, right? If you do something like this, I guess you do something like this, maybe. Or maybe she just like pushes and pushes. Yeah, the smart thing white would do is to take on c4. Knight takes c4, takes the rook, knight takes. That would be the smart thing. And yeah, that's the problem with being down a piece, is your opponent can sacrifice a piece and still be up a piece. Two is greater than one. Nifa says he will not take on c4. That's the kind of confidence that I need when I play king f6. I think she should have brought the king in. I think that was a good chance. Now, I mean, am I gonna sit here and tell you guys that it was winning? No. It's like there's no winning move for black. So Emily is just trying her best. All right, it looks like we will see the rook move. Yeah. And now that's like in this position earlier, the king never activates because the rook cuts him off. So putting the rook here is kind of weird. So now we can bring the king in, but again, here and just knight takes either pawn. So Emily plays knight f1, and now, oh, sorry. We see the rook return to the f file, cutting our king off. There's always this check to assist. Emily, she might contemplate d2. Like, you're either playing knight e3 or you're playing d2. And the only upside of d2 is that maybe you get a pawn to c2. And if you can get a pawn to c2, maybe you win. Seriously. Like, imagine this. That would be... that would be bonkers. That would be so cool. It's, like, not going to happen, but imagine. It could happen. What's up, Megan? Can I respond to Heather's story? Heather from Charlotte. I'm pretty sure that guy used to sit in my YMCA lobby and play chess against whoever. Your hub's about in 800 and beat him. I need to see his face again to be sure. I think he had a lucky opening and he got ahead early. All right, you want to see? I can reveal. Big reveal here. Oh, he's dodged me. He's like, not today. He was ready for it. He was ready. All right, hold on. We'll wait. He'll come back. I know it. Oh, thanks, Megan. I gotta eat more, I guess. I know, impeccable timing. Okay, wow. She's sacking the knight. There he is. He's got glasses. Is that a Charlotte chess shirt? I don't think it is. But you guys might know the logo better than I do. Alright, I might have lost Heather. Oh, the shirt's Captain America. My bad. But have you seen the Charlotte Chess Center logo? Like, I know I'm not crazy. The move surprised him. Is he scared? Imagine. Get him, Emily. She's winning the elbow room battle. It is her board, so she set it up. Not the same guy. Sorry for let. It's okay, Heather. We appreciate the insider information, not the opponent that Heather's husband played at the YMCA lobby. So, this guy honestly, I think is fairly strong and knows what he's doing. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we had an opportunity here to bring the king in, but White had an opportunity to clinch the win seamlessly with a knight sacrifice. Emily decided to take matter into her own hands, to determine her own destiny, to let the pieces decide the fate, and played the aggressive knight to f1, attacking the rook, putting the rook back, cutting the king off, attacking the knight, and Emily said, go ahead, take the knight. See if I care. Look what she's doing. She's threatening to promote, to make a new queen, to give life back into her position. And now, okay, so he has to take the knight. He's very hesitant. This guy is freaked out right now. He's like, oh my god, are these pawns gonna queen? Okay, he touched the knight. I mean, he's got to take it, which he has. So the rook guards the promotion square, but this pawn is calling in the reinforcements. C3, the dream team, the pawn duo. And guess what? This other pawn is coming in. Guys, there's only 2 winning moves. There's 2 winning moves for White. White has to find one of 2 moves in order to maintain an advantage. And White is up a rook and a knight. Can anyone tell me what these 2 moves are? Do you guys even see them? Do you guys see the moves? Okay. We see Drayden saying knight f3. What's up, Dr. J-Law? Now we're getting excited. Now we're getting some... Oh my god! He didn't do it! He messed up! Your boy messed up, you guys. He had to move the knight to either f3 or c4. He's played rook f7 check, and now it's completely winning for black. Let's go! Holy smokes, folks. Emily's about to have the biggest come from behind victory. I mean, oh my word. Like, any king move is winning. Never resigned, ladies and gentlemen. Down a rook and a knight. Emily's put her opponent in the blender with her latest knight sacrifice, king to g8. And there's no stopping the pawns, you guys. This bro, I mean, his check leaves the back rank vulnerable, and she has her pawn on d2 1 square away. Opponent has to bring the rook completely back or to d7, and guess what? You're getting hit by c2 next. Look at that. Emily's got ice in her veins. Oh, and she just gives him a look. Oh my god, she's got the eye of the tiger right now. This is incredible, and he's shocked. He's shocked. He's stunned. He leans back. He can't believe it. I mean, what an incredible comeback. This man just blundered. Give Nifa his credit. Let's go. I mean, this is incredible. This was amazing. That's why we never resign. Where are the doubters at? Where are the naysayers at? Oh, he's even talking to himself. She's smiling. He just said, "Geez, that's why we have the in-game mics. The players are mic'd up." What a save, dude. The clock situation, she's got 10.5 minutes to his 30 minutes, but all the time in the world can't save him. That being said, I mean, no, not even. Like, if she gets a queen versus knight and rook, it's like kind of close, but like she has two pawns. She's gonna be winning one of these pieces plus have a queen. Like it's game over. Yeah, this guy can't believe it. He's talking to himself now. I mean, she she could get up and walk away. Like that would be a statement. Dude, this is quite the game. This is a game to remember. The mighty pawns. You can never underestimate the power of the pawns. This guy is under. This is his first ever USCF or FIDE rated game. Yeah, K Dog. Emily didn't give up. She clawed her way back, tooth and nail. I mean, that was incredible to find. Knight F1 to push a D2. And in just one move, yeah, I mean, he saw a check. He couldn't resist. Rook F7. He's like, I'm going to give you a check because I can. Because my knight defends that square. And she said, okay, I'll move my king back. And now what are you going to do about my pawns? So this guy, I mean, he just has to bring the rook back to F1 and then figure out what he wants to do after she plays C2. Because then she's going to make a queen on either D1 or C2 or C1. Best move is rook F1. Like, this guy has to get at least one of these pawns. You can't let her queen for free, because then she's going to make a second queen. But, I mean, either way. What a come from behind, dude. Yeah, I agree with poached jams. I'm gonna take this moment to go back. I think there's a lot of sidelines that I've created, so I'm worried I'm gonna lose our spot at some point, but we'll find it again. Okay, so we have a Karo Khan. Emily should probably take this bishop, but okay. Yeah, actually in this position, she really should give this check. This check is very valuable because she can force a blunder. If white pushes, we can take with check. Or if they block here, we still take with check. And just kind of damage the pawns a bit, but okay. Here, castle, rook over. She comes back. Now she trades. So here, I think she should play h6, right? Take advantage of the bishop being blocked. So she trades and then plays h6, right? So she's just giving her opponent extra mobility and options, really. Okay, so yeah, here it didn't like queen c7 because of knight to f5. So what did it like better here? Just knight d5 immediately, right? So she's been playing good moves, but she's like, her timing's just a little off, right? Like, taking on d3 was good, but she could have done it differently. Or playing h6 was good, but she could have done it earlier. And playing knight here was good, but she could have done it earlier. So here I liked bishop to d6 a lot. Here, yeah, she went for the c5 idea, but she didn't like that her knight was hanging. So what she should have done is trade here first. And then it would have forced pawn takes, because if queen takes, then she gets c5, which is what she wanted. Problem with c5 now is that the knight's hanging. So instead she comes back. I'm trying to think what would happen after pawn takes here. Bishop takes, c take, and then you'd play bishop to... What's it saying? Bishop to e5. Okay. Well, anyways, no, that's not what happened. We had bishop to b7, yeah. Here's where I think she really kind of took a deep dive in the position. She played c5 here, allowing bishop takes g3 or g7. And yeah, she loses the g and the h pawns. So she does not take. She plays knight to f4 here to play knight to g6. And then she loses just, yeah, g and h pawns like for free, essentially. So, rough, for sure. Here she just blunders a rook. She needed to play bishop b7 intermezzo. Luckily, she didn't blunder it with check. So, I mean, I think a lot of people would have just shook hands here and given up. Emily gets 2 pawns, 3 pawns. The queen a8, I don't really understand. I guess back to the game. Trade of queens. And yeah, at any point, opponent could have traded the bishops. They decided to do it now. No. Where did they trade? Oh, Emily played a5 here. Then trade, and now the pawns become connected, and the pawns together become very strong. Yeah, this is a good opportunity for white to simplify. They missed that. Played rook f2. d2, very smart move by Emily to get the pawns past. And now here, white, their only chance. They have to prevent the move c2, right? The only way to do that is by putting pressure. This pawn is defending d2, very importantly. So the knight needs to go to one of these 2 squares. Now that was missed. We had this. What did he do? He just moved the rook to, I guess, d7. And now Emily only move is c2, which she will most certainly find and play. Masterclass, Swindle. Yeah, this guy's talking to himself under his breath. He knows he's cooked. She's not only winning, she's crushing. Down a rook and a knight. But it's not about the material. It's about the quality of the material. And her pawns are queens to be. But it's her turn. She has one move to make that wins, and it's c2. That's all she needs. And the sad thing is, this guy can't even take on d2 because she's got a queen with back rank mate. You're sorry for him. There it is. She's played it. c2 on the board. And you can't even take the d pawn. He has to make space for his king. And now Emily can queen. She can make a second queen. And she's going to be bringing it on home. What's up, Rachel? Emily in the chat. So you know it's ended. Insane position. Dude, a comeback of a lifetime. People were counting Emily out. I mean, even my faith and confidence in Emily wavered. Check. He guesses. All right, so she's got two options here. They're both pretty good. Maybe you got lucky, Emily. But one thing is for sure, you were always determined. You never gave up on yourself. You powered through. And you earned the win. Let's see. Another check, because what else? Now she can go up to f6. You really should go up. What you don't want to do is blunder like a fork or something to lose a pawn maybe, but the fact that white's king is going to get back ranked is really helpful. Heather's putting Charlotte restaurant recommendations in the chat if anyone wants to take notes. All right, she's brought the king up. Now she can get checked again. Well, the knight's hanging, so makes a lot of sense to play knight g4 check, but then the rook is going to be hanging, and as we saw earlier, there's no time to take because you're getting back ranked. So the computer is calling for knight f3 at this point. And that's to block on g1. Yeah, the end is close, which is funny because I said that earlier, but don't tell Emily. Emily's gonna make a clip of me eating my own words, I bet. I'm sure. No, it's truly remarkable. You never know what could happen, even with the eval bar on. The players don't know or see it, so king f5. Yeah, we don't want to. We want to go towards the rook. Yeah, there she goes. Another thing that's really helpful is if you stay 2 diagonal squares away from the knight, it's very difficult for the knight to get to this king. So now you have mate and 1, rook hanging. The best move here is king g1. So yeah, Emily's about to bring the house down. And what a comeback, truly. How lucky are we to have witnessed such greatness from Emily? I mean, you never know what Emily's gonna do, you guys. Emily tried to see how bad she could get the position before she really started trying. She's like, I'm gonna give myself a challenge, you know? It's his first ever rated game, so let's go have some fun. What's up, feeling Chessy? Yeah, I can't wait to see what Emily pulls off after this. She's got more games tomorrow, you guys. You thought this is exciting. This is just the beginning. This is game one out of five. You see, now she's drawing an audience, a crowd. This kid's like, oh my God, this guy's still playing. He's looking at him. He's okay. That I remember my first ever USCF game. There was a crowd of kids, and maybe Julian will appreciate this because this was at the Berkeley School of Chess. I remember I was also losing early on in my game, and there was a crowd of kids that came by, and they're like shrugging at me, shaking their head, like, "What is he doing here? What's this guy doing?" And I brought it back, and they were like, "How do you do that? That's crazy." Anyways, kids can be brutal, both playing against them, but also just their judgment. Anyways, Emily says you guys don't have to keep watching it. LOL, such a long game. Sorry to make you sit through that. Emily, what are you talking about? This was an absolute pleasure. I mean, what a gift. What a treat for all of us here to experience this. This guy is going through it right now. You know this guy, look, he's shaking his head. He can't believe he's beside himself. He's okay. It was first denial, and at some point he's gonna go through acceptance. He's going through the 5 stages of grief. It's frustration. Yeah, there's a bit of acceptance there. I don't know if he's truly fully accepted it. I mean, he knows. He just has to come to terms with it. Gem Knight F6 said, I left a while ago and Emily was losing badly. What happened? Emily brought it back. Oh, they looked at each other and laughed. That's nice. He still can't believe it. All right, he takes, but now it's going to be mates. Let's see her make this queen. She pushes the pawn first, and they resign. Well done. There you have it, folks. Kings in the center. Even though the DGT board never worked, but it's a cool gesture. So bravo. Yeah, they're analyzing. Emily knows she could have lost with knight c4. No, the DGT board didn't work at all. That's okay. We can troubleshoot it. Um, they might still shake hands. I don't know. Yeah, you know, this arbiter knows what's up. She was watching this whole time. There's the handshake. He gives her a thumbs up there. Yeah, what a show. What a performance. I mean, truly an incredible game. Roller coaster of emotion. Emily giving us a look there. Emily might join us maybe if she wants to do an interview. Yeah, Emily fought tooth and nail. She knew she was lost, but that didn't deter her from giving up and trying. We see Emily now setting up all the pieces, getting some help from the arbiter. A friendly reminder to set up the board when you're done, ladies and gentlemen. It's a nice gesture. So yeah, what a game. Let's see, does Emily want to join? Oh, she's giving us a look there. Look at that hoodie. Can we get those hoodies somewhere? Sorry, so don't be sorry, Emily. I'm sad that it's over. Okay, we will interview. So let's see if you want to do a call. Ooh, look, we get a little behind the scenes sneak peek preview of some cable management.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Oh my gosh. What a disaster that was.
No, that was incredible.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can.
All I was thinking, like halfway through that game was like, oh my gosh, I need to find a different activity.
No, you crushed it. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh, it was so bad. Honestly, yeah, I don't know. It was a horrible, like I just played terribly. Also, like I kind of expected worse from that guy also, which is, I shouldn't have done that. I mean, I shouldn't go into it with that. But I mean, he wasn't great either. But mostly, yeah, just bad from the start. Bad position, basically from move 5, and I don't know. You could tell me better than I could tell you, but yeah, it was bad.
Okay, you had a couple moments early on where I think you played good moves, just like at the wrong time. So like when you played h6, you could have played it maybe a move earlier, attacking his bishop.
Yeah.
When you took his light square bishop with your knight, you could have done that a little earlier as well. But
yeah.
Overall, your biggest mistake was tactically when you played c5. You just let him take on g7. Yeah, and that's where
I didn't see that. That was just a straight up blunder.
Yeah,
didn't see it.
Whenever your opponent attacks something of yours and you decide to attack something of theirs in retaliation, you're giving them kind of a one-up because they're the one that led the attack first. So then they can do things like bishop takes g7.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of a move behind.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, but that time, like, it was still a very tricky line, and then he was just up 2 pawns. Your king was really weak, and then you you hung the rook in the corner, which was honestly like, what a display. Like I couldn't believe the confidence that you had to do that and know that you'd still win was like really a flex.
Right.
So that was incredible.
Yes. Very.
So yeah, I'm really excited, for you to have done that. I think that probably is your biggest comeback you've ever had, right?
Yes, literally I was about to resign like in the middle game, and then I was like, this guy, like, well, I was kind of banking on the fact because obviously he knew what he was doing, but he hadn't played in tournaments, so I was like, he probably doesn't know. Like, I'm trusting his endgame is not very good. Not that mine is, but like the fact that none of the pawns had moved, like king was, I don't know. I was just like, this is gonna be my only saving grace, and somehow, well, I mean, I still messed that up, but thankfully he didn't know how to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and everyone's applauding you. People were saying you should have resigned, right? Obviously, that's not true because you still won, and you never gave up on yourself. It's tough.
That's not true, actually, Joe. That's not true, but continue with the motivational speech.
It's true though. You didn't give up on yourself. You kept playing, and you fought tooth and nail to the bitter end.
I had mentally given up on myself. Yes,
But
until
physically.
like correct. I didn't resign, so we'll give myself credit for that. And that's the lesson that everyone can take away, unless you're at a higher level, in which case
No,
you
no.
won't have the same. You probably won't be faced with the same storyline. But
You lost the rook completely for free. And you gave up the knight at the end. That was also just a stroke of brilliancy.
no, that was a complete blunder because they could have just like stacked and like still been winning. But I was like,
No.
I just don't see him like I don't know. I just was like, whatever. This is my only chance, really.
And it
So
worked. And you were right.
it worked. Yeah. So play hope chess, guys. Sometimes it does work out. Rarely,
No,
but
no,
on
it's
occasion.
you put
Uh,
yourself up in the best position for him to blunder, and he did.
it's true. That
So,
that is a fact. Yes. So, well, I have my work cut out for me for the rest of this tournament because if any of the games were anything like this one, then, yeah, we'll this might be my last tournament, guys.
no, 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 for sure not. I think
I'm,
you pulled out a lot of tricks from your sleeves in that game, and it was quite a sight to behold. We're all blessed to have witnessed it, and we're all excited to see what more you have in store for us in your remaining rounds. We hope that you never quit chess.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to say. Oh, a nice touch. I was walking to my car and the opponent was driving by, I guess, and he yelled at me, "I'll get you next time."
Ah, nice. Yeah, he seemed like a nice guy.
He was nice, but oh my gosh, he like was talking and making noises the entire game. Maybe
At
that
the
was part of
entire,
his strategy.
I thought he started making noises after he noticed he was losing.
No,
It was
it
at the
was
beginning
literally like
too.
the entire thing. Like anytime he thought he had a good move, he was like, that's
Okay.
nice."
Okay. All right. Well, he seems like maybe you could play some blitz with him. I feel like that'd be fun.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe another. We'll have to. This is only the beginning. You'll have more encounters with him.
I'm sure. I'm sure that I will.
So he's gonna get his revenge.
Yeah, I mean, he had it the whole for the 90% of the game. So,
I know he got your name there at the end. He's like, "What was your name?" He's like, "I gotta remember this girl.
oh my
You're the
gosh.
one that
Yeah.
got away." He's like, he's gonna tell the people about it. Like, man, I had this my first step. That was his first ever rated game.
Yeah.
So what a memory.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I suppose. Well, thank you, Joe, as always. Chat, thanks for watching. Sorry for the poor performance in the beginning, but it's only up from here, right? Or down. Downhill from up. I never know really the proper what the correct
You
lingo
could
is, but you
go.
guys know what
You can go either way, and we're all gonna be here and witness it regardless. So we're all excited for it. Game 2 is tomorrow at what time?
10:30 a.m. So Eastern time. Yeah.
All
So
right.
Rachel and Robbie are going to be commentating that one. So
Wow.
yeah, so it should be fun. Hopefully more of an earned win, but we'll see.
I mean, you earned that one for sure.
Oh
I don't know
gosh,
how you could
I'm
win
gonna be
and
playing another Victor, and I should not have ever been one. So
you're a winner literally on paper, but you're also a winner in all of our books, and exciting to have Rachel and Robbie commentating together. That'll be fun to watch, and I will be back on Sunday.
yes,
So looking forward to it, and I'm sure you're on pace to win the whole thing. You're perfect 100%.
for now, yes.
So let's see. All right. Thank you so much, Emily. I know it's late. We'll let you get some sleep, get some much needed rest before your big day tomorrow. So we'll see you all then.
All right. Well, thanks, Joe. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, that was the one and only Emily Plays Chess. What an absolutely legendary performance. What a legendary game. Thank you all for watching, and Emily will be back tomorrow, 10:30 in the morning, Eastern Time. We'll see you all then. Stick around. I'm going to find someone to raid on my side. I don't know if Emily can raid on her side. But yeah, I'm going to head out You've all been lovely. Have a great weekend and hope to see you back tomorrow. Take care, everyone. You're all appreciated and loved. Bye. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Miranda. Thanks, Kako. Thank you, not the unsub. Decidius Zeus asked if this game was reviewable. I will share the PGN that I have on both her Discord and my Discord, but the DGT board didn't work, unfortunately, so we'll try to fix that. All right, I'm rating. I'll see y'all later.